So the drama of the draft, the first drama of the draft, will be what the Charlotte Hornets do at 2. What is the conversation about Scoot Henderson versus Brandon Miller that will be a domino that tumbles into Portland, and that might actually tumble into what they do with Damian Lillard, and that might tumble into free agency. So there's a lot of intrigue, drama, and importance about what the Hornets do at 2. What do you think they do, Jay?
I think they take Brandon Miller out of Alabama because he can shoot it. He's 6'9", very athletic, rebounds his position very effectively. He actually, as an offensive rebounder, he gets a number of his own misses. He's quick to the ball, but he can really shoot. He shoots it off the catch, off pick-and-roll situations. He's pretty good at creating his own. And I think he's a good defender. Like he can rim protect a little bit, and he can switch out and guard. He's not a lockdown guy, but he can guard. Scoot Henderson has played 2 years in the G League, and his numbers not only compare favorably, they're better than Jalen Green's were, and he was the number 2 pick in the draft a couple of years ago. They're better than his were out of the G League. Better offensive rating, more assists, more rebounds, all that stuff. Henderson is he's only 6'2", maybe 6'3" at the most, but he's got arms of a guy 6'9", and he can really attack in transition, off the dribble, play make for himself and others. Really good passer, but he hasn't figured out the shooting piece yet. He's not a consistent perimeter shooter. And that's one thing that he's got to add to his game to be even more effective. With Miller, that's already figured out. He can shoot the lights out, and one of the best scorers and shooter scorers in the draft.
So if that leaves Scoot Henderson for Portland, do you think that's a fit with Lillard? How do you think that? Again, I know I'm leaving the X's and O's and tape grinding and evaluation of players lane a bit here, but how do you think that meshes with Lillard and the future of Damian Lillard in Portland if it is, in fact, Scoot Henderson sitting there at 3? Jay?
I don't really know, Rich. I don't know kind of what demands that Lillard is making or can make that you want to look at fit to keep him happy, to keep him. I'm not sure what that dynamic is, but if it's best player available at number 3 and you have Miller off the board already to Charlotte, I think Henderson is the clear pick there as best available player. But there are other good options there. But I think it's pretty clear that it's Wembanyama 1 without argument, and then I think Charlotte's going Miller. And then Henderson, but I haven't talked to anybody in Charlotte about it, but people I know, there has been discussion. You'd be an idiot not to discuss it, but my guess is that it's going to be Miller at 2. But it wouldn't shock me to see Henderson off the board at 2, but it would surprise me.
Okay, who else are we not talking about that you think we should be going into this draft, Jay Bilas?
There are a couple guys like, the Thompson twins, not the very average band from the 80s, but Amen and Asar Thompson out of Overtime Elite. They're freak athletes, different players, but freaky athletically. And so they're upside picks that are likely to go in the first 7. They could go 4 and 5. But there are a couple guys I really like. I like Cam Whitmore out of Villanova. He had some injury issues during the season, so he didn't have a continuous year. But NBA body, ridiculous athlete, attacks the rim like few others, and I think he's going to be a very good NBA player. He can guard multiple spots, get steals and deflections and all that. But you look at his body and watch him athletically, and he's NBA. He has NBA written all over him. But there's a player that was kind of unknown coming into college, Central Florida, playing for Johnny Dawkins, and that's Taylor Hendricks, who's a prototypical kind of 3-and-D stretch 4, can really shoot it, mostly catch and shoot, but he's got a beautiful stroke from 3 and a very good defender and rebounder. So I think he's one of those guys that fits into the NBA mold as a stretch 4 that can really stretch a defense and knock down shots. Because there are a number of players that in this draft that are really talented and really intriguing, but they're missing kind of the shooting piece. And in a league that puts a premium on shooting, Hendricks can shoot it out of the gate. You don't have to. It's not like, oh, if he really can improve his shooting, he's got the shooting. So I think he's going to be a high pick, whether he goes 6, 7, 9, whatever. He's a great value in this draft.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.